for another one. God willing. And I want to thank the Most High for allowing us to gather here another day, here on this 4th of July, 2025. Good evening, Ava, Mike, Karen, Raymond, Meat Puppet, Gunther, Hopkinson, Your Lifestyle, Just in Time, Daily, everybody that shares the stream. I appreciate it more than you know. Boomer. You know, there's going to be a time when we're all on the other side of this and we're all going to be looking at each other like, well, who did what? Who did what? Who did what? Who put in the work? Salutes to all you guys that did that, because we're going to be sitting in an area together, no doubt, waiting for judgment. Just souls. Deanne, Minx, Flippin' House, Wolf Club, Bulletproof Soul. Good to see everybody, man. Hope you're doing good. Most of all, when it comes to these holidays anymore, I mean, it's about getting in with friends and family. More than anything, much love. You know, you're blessed if you have that. So, yeah, I don't anymore with all these. Happy 4th of July, and everybody's celebrating independence. And thank you, Boomer, for the coffee. And Bone Score for the super chat. Much love. God bless. Lots to cover here. I'm not sure. Let's see. TMT in the house. Daz. Good to see you. Good to see everybody checking in across the globe. Thank you for that information you sent me earlier, Daz. As always, I appreciate it, brother. And we're going to actually start off. Well, that what you sent me is in the front of the lineup here. Got a lot to cover here. Try to get it in here as quick as possible. I almost did not launch the stream because Restream was not letting me log in and all this other stuff. So literally, it was like after 8 something, like I finally got in and was like, it was tough, but we're here. I wasn't having it. It's like, we're going live, dude. I'm like, you have to. Jake Grooms in house. EZT. For you. Red Skies. Hope all is good, man. I know it's going to be going down around dark time here within the next hour with a lot of noise. If you guys hear anything in the background, on my end, you guys know, fireworks. I will say the other night, my lone neighbor down there decided to pop off a lone firework, so to speak. And it bugged me. So the stuff out in the middle of nowhere. And he's got an arsenal, though. He plans to set that off. He said Sunday, but I don't see him not lighting something off tonight on the 4th. But again, you hear any ruckus in the background, and I'm gonna be real with you. This doesn't take away from anything, any of it, but I understand when a soldier says that they have PTSD when hearing these things, these loud booms, and what sounds like gunshots and everything else, and they have a hard time dealing with it. Much love, Skibby. Much love to everybody out there fighting that fight. You know, the mental fight and everything else. It's real. For certain individuals out there right now, this isn't a good time. Just want to remind you, they don't see happiness and all this. It drives them crazy, matter of fact. And they try the noise and the stuff as possible, because all it does is bring back of war, real war. Something that, and it's pretty crazy that we do that. You know, all my life, I grew up Cincinnati, WEBM fireworks, huge spectacle. Thunder down Louisville. You had big year, and I enjoyed them. They were a lot of fun. Went out, but the only reason I enjoyed them is because I was green. And I didn't understand, you know, it wasn't until here later in life, things get more militant that, I don't know, it affects me different, for real. Of course, everything does these days, because I just see through everything. I'm like that. I'm like Rowdy Piper, man, rolling around town with them shades on, man. They live. I see everything. I see everything for what it is. This place is so dark and evil. Much love to everybody that says keep your head up and brighter days are coming, and this and that. But there's so much evil here that I know where we're at. I know what time it is. I just pray that the Most High is with us, and with everybody that calls upon Him for guidance through these tough times ahead. This might be one of the last peaceful 4th of Julys we ever have, where life is normal, so to speak. Remember, it was normal, and then we went to lockdowns, and it was wrecked. Nightmare. And then life it came back gradually to this normal life, so to speak. After the next events, I don't think it's ever going to happen like that. It's definitely not designed to. If they had it their way, they wouldn't let it. And I don't know. Just glad we got to another day, I guess. No madness here. Man, I got a lot to report on. If you got something you want me to speak on, send me a link. Dabu7@yahoo.com. I'll keep it open. I'll pull it up in the lineup. At me in the comments. Be like, hey, Dabu, I just sent you a link on it, blah, blah, blah. I'll try to pull it up and cover it. Robert, that is the best way to support the channel, and I appreciate it to the fullest. Let's get this thing going. Unfortunately, we're going to start off here with, and again, I've been doing this for so long. How much can I take? How much can I handle? Feel numb to this stuff anymore. In living through devastation, getting wiped out, getting attacked, getting flooded, getting hit, and having little to no help ever come. It's depressing. I feel for the people in Asheville. I wish I could have went down there and helped and done more, but like where I'm from, people got wiped out and there was no help, and people never even recovered. Bodies still missing in the rivers, the same thing. It's like that all across the country. So I pray to the Most High. The only thing I know to do to help these people. It feels like we're under attack from a weather weapon, as I call it. And again, we've got another situation that very well may be that. At least 13 people reported dead, more than 20 girls missing amid flooding in Central Texas. Okay. NPNY. Much love. Thank you. Much love. 15 inches of rain in Kerr County, Texas since Thursday. Oh, so well over a foot of rain. If you see something like this, you're going to see this. You never hear it on the news. I have to get 20 inches of rain tomorrow. Like it never happens. Oh, yeah, you'll get the report. Oh, there's a storm system coming in and this and that. And the same old. Sometimes you do, depending on the area. And sometimes a little too late. In the last minute, you get reports like, yeah, you're about to get a foot of rain. And roads are already blocked. You already can't get out. If you live in the mountains, you know what that's like. I'm not sure about Kerr County. I may have been through there in my travels. I don't think Texas is very flat. But they're saying in this area, and you can even see it in the images, the Guadalupe River, and this is probably, I'm going to say, what fed a lot of it. When you got any kind of hills or mountains around, it amplifies the runoff and the flooding. It makes it sometimes seem biblical. I'm going to play this clip, man. Again, Camp Mystic, prayers going out, and everyone else dealing with it. I know from experience that there's a lot of people that are never going to get mentioned, that are not going to ever make a headline, that are sitting there clinging to a tree, hoping to stay alive, praying to God right now. I hope they get rescued. Just like these people. They've lost everything. Everything. Animals. Everything, every picture you ever had of your family. Look, man, those people climb all the way up into those big trees. That's where they're getting rescued from. They're getting snatched way up in those trees. I mean, this is crazy. They climbed way up. I mean, that was. It's. Man, oh man. Devastation here. Again, I'm getting sick of seeing it, and I know what it is and what it's from. It's a weather weapon. All right, so they expect more fatalities to be reported here, so rest in peace there, man. Separately, Texas's acting governor, Dan Patrick, said around 20 children are unaccounted for at Camp Mystic, which is in Kerr County. He cautioned it does not mean that they are lost. I don't know what else it could mean at this point if you don't know where they're at. Widespread rainfall of 4 to 8 inches with some reports of up to 15 inches. Now, that's a big gap. You don't just... Look, all of us have seen a few inches of rain, 4 to 5 inches, 4 to 8 inches, but you just don't out of nowhere just throw, yeah, maybe 15 inches comes and hits you on top of that. Like, so something... To me, when looking at this from a distance, unnatural has happened in this event. Because you normally don't see that. If 4 to 8's the range, it's the range. Like, again, you just don't out of nowhere throw in, and then 15 inches on top maybe. Interesting that it hit this region. I'm hearing reports that a lot of the low-lying areas, for people to get out of town and to get to higher ground, they're all cut off. Roads are cut off. More heavy rain possible in the evening. Got more slow-moving storms stalling over the area. And the water's just stacking up big. Catastrophic flooding.
Catastrophic flooding in parts of Texas. We want to take you to Kerrville. This is about 65 miles northwest of San Antonio. This is along the Guadalupe River, where they are just seeing so much rain. And people who live near the river being told to seek higher ground. I know that there are a lot of camps in this area as well. Camp Mystic, for example, isn't too far from Kerrville. I know that one's in Hunt, Texas. So, definitely they're a little worried about all the flooding there. In fact, the city of Kerrville already canceling all 4th of July plans as well, as they are just dealing with what they are calling a catastrophic event. This area needed rain. They just didn't need all this rain
so fast,
this quick. And we know that there are rescues that are going on as we speak in that area too.
Yeah, the sheriff's department there responding already to several rescues in the area and warning people to take get to safety if they can, if they're in that area. Kylie.
Yeah, guys, several flash flood emergencies have been issued this morning. I've been talking about this area of low pressure that developed overnight. Now, there's a little bit of science involved here that I want to mention. Whenever we make forecasts when it comes to rain, we oftentimes look at how much water in the atmosphere that it has to work with to produce these high rainfall amounts. And what's called precipitable water is what we're focused on when it comes to that accumulating rainfall. And those, they're called PWATS, is like the little acronym for that. But extremely high precipitable water amounts have been giving us this very heavy rain across parts of the south and west near the hill country this morning. So again, flood emergencies are in place for parts of Kerr County and areas south of San Angelo. Very heavy rain ongoing along I-10. And here's why those flood emergencies are in place. This is a look at rainfall totals over the last 24 to 48 hours. Just in the last 6 to 7 hours, upwards of 10 to 15 inches of rain have been allowed to fall. Again, that's going to be just upwards of 10.
So you can see there's a spot actually that goes almost white here, and maybe two, because they have this block. This is 15 over this area, but the core of this just at an extreme. You know, you're gonna see like over here, classic. This is like a classic storm coming through with its nucleus, and you can see where it's at. But then when it hits this level, capable of dumping twice the amount. What's crazy is some of these areas are going to get hit with maybe 7.5 inches, like right around this town, and then coming behind it, there's no way you're getting missed by this monster that's coming through that's dropping like 15. So I mean, you could get over 20, like craziness. This definitely is the more mountainous, hilly region of Texas there, from what I can tell. We got couple more shots here. Let me see.
Now to some breaking news out of parts of central and western Texas. At least 6 people are dead. Several more are missing due to major flooding. At least 6 inches of rain has fallen since last night, overwhelming the Guadalupe River. People who actually live near that area have been told to evacuate and move to higher ground. Police and fire crews in the community of Kerrville staying very busy right now with high water rescues. The fire department also monitoring area nursing and assisted living locations as well. As residents and staff shelter in place, shelters have been set up, we're told, for those who've been displaced by this flooding, major flooding in that area. Kerrville is about 75 miles west of Austin.
There you go, 75 miles west of Austin. And man, yeah, a rest in peace to all the people there. I'm going to keep it pushing. We've got more to cover here. All right. So again, for those just coming in, happy 4th, and much love. Good evening. We've got a death to report on here. Some of you may not know who this is, but some of you no doubt will. Young Noble, one of the Outlaws. Outlaws is a music group that was handpicked by Tupac Shakur back in the 90s. And Young Noble was one of the last outlaws. He was like the last official outlaw, as he put it, out there still making music. And they're saying today that he has died by suicide at the age of 47. And this does not sit well with me. I've followed Young Noble here since I was like, a teenager. And Sin, thank you for the coffees. Makes, thank you for the coffees. Young Noble was a good guy. He was a good one. He fought the good fight, man. I've known him, and I've been into rap music, and that doesn't matter. Like, he fought the good fight. When it comes to waking people up to who the enemy is, and like this whole game, just like Pac, he was thorough in that all the way to the end. And look, I have a hard time with this right at the gate because so many people have been killed around Tupac. In many, and I'm talking many, made to look like they've killed themselves. I want to remind you that Tupac's main bodyguard, Frank Alexander, a very cool guy that fought the good fight and spoke the truth. He outed. Who did he out before he was murdered? Reggie Wright Jr. He said it all. Frank Alexander did. And they came to us and they said, Frank Alexander is deceased. It was suicide. He killed himself. That's what they came to us and they said, right? Years later, we come to find out details that may not be the case. Did you know that the main officer or the main investigator working on the Pac murder and everything died in LAPD's office? The Tupac's other bodyguard, Michael Moore, that had all this information on the murder of Pac, was killed as well, gone. All these people, man. Gaddafi witnessed it. He was killed less than a month later because he witnessed the gunman that it could ID them. All these things, man. Well, I find it interesting that Young Noble, one of the last songs that he put out that was big here within the past year, was a song called Pac, Yak, and Fatal. Again, you may not listen to rap, but if you care anything about murder mysteries, or anything like that, like, this is big. It could very well be tied into the whole ring. Because until I see some guaranteed proof that he did it, he killed himself, which is going to be kind of hard pressed to find. I don't know, man. Like I just told you about Frank. All the other guys, Gaddafi's dead, Pac's dead, Hussein Fatal's dead. He said he shot himself. Atlanta. That's all that I got. Said he shot himself, which I don't know, bro. In this song that he put out, he says he gives a shout out to Pac, and then he gives a shout out to Yak, and then to Hussein. They were all three dead before him. And he's like, this ain't a sad song, man. I'm celebrating your life. That's what he says. And I get it. It was a great song. In it, when he's on Gaddafi's part, he goes, new details are surrounding your death are popping up daily. And he says, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. And he says it twice. He goes, what's done in the dark will be brought to light. Meaning, he was catching on. He knew that it wasn't just an accidental killing with Gaddafi, as they wanted to say. That he knew that they murdered him. This is they murdered Pac, and all that. And it's like he was saying these things publicly. Okay. So look at his shirt right here. What's it say? Illuminati on top of the pyramid. Illuminati. You wonder where I get it from? You wonder why I say it all the time? What it means? Because when Pac got murdered, and I was 16, I picked up the album and it said Don Illuminati. I said, what does that mean? I went looking. And the response that I got, with the information I got, that I found when I looked, quickly showed me that he was a Don, like a Don. A gangster Don. Of Illuminati. So it was, what was Illuminati? And then when I went looking, immediately Illuminati popped up. And I found it. And I only found it because Pac. I thank you, Pac. You planted the seed. This ain't about rap music. This ain't about nothing. This ain't about people's personal, the bad stuff they did in this life or anything else. People always want to be quick to point that crap out. Nah, I'm on the revolutionary tip here of, like, you've got to overcome the enemy. And before you do that, you got to know who it is. And you can spend your entire life trying to figure that out. If you're lucky, you're smart, and you're listening to an old head like me, and you're young, you might get it early. And the earlier you get it, the better. You figure this game out. You have way better odds and chance instead of just living this life blind, dying, and never really figuring it out. But Illuminati showed me that it was to kill this Illuminati. And then after I seen what the Illuminati was, I understood. I understand fully. So that's been the motto. Always will be until the end. Anyhow, Warrior lost here. Pains me. He's only 47, man. I was hoping to meet him when the last Outlaws. I was really hoping to meet him. See you on the other side, soldier. R.I.P. Rufus. It pisses me off. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, the SOP that the Fed said themselves wrote a check for at least $1 million on a hit for Tupac in this whole orchestration and this sham. P. Diddy, he gets the major charges dropped on him. He gets hit with the lesser charges. Okay. And we'll talk about that here. And thank you for the Bible group and Gina for the coffees. Appreciate you more than you know. So Diddy, runs his mouth. That's why the motto ever since I was a teenager was bad boy killer. It's BBK. I stand this dude. Anything bad boy, it was always Pac, and we love Big. Because it was a quick understanding that these guys orchestrated it and had a hand in the deaths. And for some time, we always thought that Suge Knight had a major hand in it, more so of what he really would have. But it wasn't so much him as it was the hands around him that we can now see in the feds that orchestrated the whole thing, and they killed both Biggie and Tupac. It's a crazy thing that I can sit here and I can tell you those things, those details, and it's openly known now. But people are not charged. They've got Keefe D in jail somewhere trying to charge him. But what's Keefe D saying? He's saying that he didn't do it. He just did it all for money. And that the person that actually did it was Reggie Wright Jr. That's your man. Where's Reggie Wright Jr. at? He's over here on YouTube every single day spewing government propaganda away from his involvement and the Fed's involvement. And I feel like it's part of a deal he made a long time ago because he got busted. Him and his dad, Reggie Wright Sr., running a drug network from the Midwest out to the West Coast. They got busted. And they're both former cops. So he should be in prison. But he's not. Talking all this crap. And I knew immediately. I knew it. I knew it when he was dissing Frank Alexander, had a hate for him and all this. Why would you have a hate? All these things started to add up that, dude, you are the one. And then now, Suge Knight's done said it from the cell. Whether he realizes his time's about up, like he's going to die in there or whatever, he may not get out or whatever. All these years, he didn't want to seem like the snitch, Suge Knight. Well, now he's speaking. and he's saying it on. I mean, he's got this live stream from prison where he makes a collect call, whatever, you know, and the guy's recording. And he said, you solve it. You solve the same circle of people that tried to kill me and it killed Pac and hijacked death row. It's the same circle of people that killed Biggie. You serve one, you solve them both. Solve one, solve them both. And Reggie Wright's been all up on these videos trying to blame all these deaths and murders on Suge Knight. Like all of them. Like Buntree, all the blood security that got killed. Even the guy that was driving Reggie Wright's car at the gas station, right? Like all these, try to blame it on Suge. And I'll never forget, like, Pac's Machiavelli album, the very first words, when we was kids, we found this. It said, Suge shot me. It said, Suge shot me. Okay? What? So for years, of course, all the dudes running around school and everyone was, oh, Suge Knight did it. And it brought up all that talk because it said in it, Suge shot me in the very first one. Go buy the album, go download it. You'll hear the very first human words very low. It says, Suge shot me. Just like that. It's like, what? It's like, hold on. If Suge controls death row and all this stuff, how, like what? Well, he got sent to prison. And this was released by Reggie Wright Jr. in them. They did. They planted it. We figured this out now. And these dudes are smoked. The only thing keeping them sitting there is the feds that's been protecting them the whole time. Okay? Young Noble was calling this out. Tupac's father, it's alive still, was calling this out. Everybody called out. Everybody that's dead was calling it out before they were dead. All right? And like the only dude that is getting away with murder is P. Diddy. Literally. Not only did he get the lesser charges here, but they never say a word about murder. This goes beyond Tupac and Biggie. This goes to Kim Porter. This goes to Craig Mack. This goes to Prince. Okay, this runs deep and it's real deal, man. So I don't know here. I hope he gets the karma he deserves. Let's put it that way. Because some of these souls need vindication for real. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not just P. Diddy. It's way more than P. Diddy. Always has been. P. Diddy's just another pawn in the game. He sure is. Part of the same club. And see, him and Suge Knight both were part of the same club. They get paid. Frank Alexander's on record right before they killed him, saying Suge Knight gets paid by the Baphomet. And when he said this, my jaw hit the floor. What did he say? He says Suge Knight gets paid by the Baphomet. Frank aired it out. R.I.P., brother. R.I.P. all y'all. See you when I get there. The whole team's gone. Like all of them. Big Psych, Pac, Yak, Frank. Like everybody surrounding this whole thing is dead. In terms of the whole Tupac thing. The feds got it all on camera. The feds were following and trailing Pac that night. It's a fact, Jack. Even Pac's dad said it. The feds are on every rooftop every time I go to a city. And there's BLMs in town or anybody. It's the feds overseeing, watching with binoculars and drones. Their little project. It's no different. All these years later, everything that I know is clear to me. Who the culprit is. It's the same beast that kills them all. I tell you all the time. Killed JFK, killed RFK, killed Malcolm X, MLK, Lenin, Pac, Big, Chris Cornell, Bennington. It goes on and on. You already know. It just goes on and on. All of my peoples, man, all the warriors were eliminated by this beast. So when you hear me say Illuminati, that's what this means. For the Most High to come down here and kill this beast and put it to sleep in this thing. And I do not care if I die in the process. All right. I kind of had to accept that, I guess, coming in here. If it's going to be the last one, I mean, we all got to die anyway, right? Very few make it out of this life, chosen by God to be snatched up and never die. But so many people here right now are so non-spiritual that you'd be hard-pressed to find any. There's good out there, no doubt. But within the hundreds of billions of people out here, man, it's smaller than a remnant. Smaller than a remnant, man. Much love to the remnant. All the purebloods out there. Everybody that fights the fight and has kept it real this whole time. We're going to keep it pushing. All right. We got a planetary object coming into the solar system. I think this is an interesting one. This is an interstellar object. This is only the third interstellar object we've ever seen on record that they know of. Ever. And all of these have popped up here in our lifetime. Now, what I find really odd is that when they go explaining this thing, they say that this object is coming interstellar and that the eccentric rating on it of a 6 means that it most definitely is coming from another star. That's how they put it. A whole different system. So they go on to say that it's very odd and they're going to try to turn everything that they got, all the cameras to it. They cite that this Bolivar 2019, and it was kind of really overlooked. I'm going to tell you about everybody because we went into lockdowns. We went into lockdowns. We went into madness. You know it. And during that time, like the whole second one, Bolivar, everyone just totally missed it. They're like, what was that? You don't even remember it. They say they think it was a comet. You think it was a comet? Like, then they mention the very first interstellar object, and they don't call it a comet, which I find is crazy. They call it a mystery object. Oumuamua. That's right, Oumuamua, the object that came in here. I told y'all, man, you better watch it. It was long, cylindrical, metallic in nature, giving off a reflection. Okay, and it picked up speed and like went warp speed out of here. When it left, right, it like slowed down right next to us. It picked up speed. Like, dude, what's Oumuamua mean? It means scout. I'm going to tell you, I lightweight feel they could potentially be the good guys. It was somebody. Could they really be as evil as what's locked here? And if you're anything, if you're any movement, if you're any militant movement, if you're any physical movement out there, like if you're going to go somewhere, you're going to send a scout team first to observe it. Even we do it. You send a scout team to observe a forward team. And that's exactly what they named it. You think the world missed something big? I do. And now we've got a third one coming in. And get this. It's coming all the way in. And it's going to come right in between Earth and Mars. And then turn around and leave. What? How? You're telling me this next interstellar object is going to come right in like a Muamua did. It come right in next to us. And then just dip out. Like, man, I'd be watching this. A Muamua, they don't, like, they never said, like, they think where it came from or where it was going. Like, they got a trajectory of it coming in, but, like, only so far back. And, like, they can watch it now still wherever it's heading. But, like, what are they seeing? They're not telling us. Did it pick up speed? Did it go Mach a zillion? Did it disappear? Did it head toward the Pleiades? Like, tell us. They won't. Pisses me off. We're lied to so bad about everything. But anyhow, I just thought it was pretty crazy that you got another mystery object coming in, and they wouldn't even classify a Muamua as anything other than a mystery object because they can't. And at least you're keeping it real. At least you're keeping it real. It's as the people are sheep sleeping on it. Nothing like it in our time. Okay. Hurricane hunters are off the coast of the United States, East Coast, off Georgia, probing potential hurricane. Doubt it's going to fire up, but it's that time of the year. If we do see any action, I'll end up updating. An update on gold. They say that the last time that gold moved just like this was in 1929. You ever heard the old saying, watch the signs? History repeats itself sometimes. Sudden gold is picking up a pattern. Witnessed it was right before everything crashed, the Great Depression. Just saying. And we still don't lose any gold in Fort Knox. Is pathetic. It's need answers and need them fast, but I think some big events about to happen. Like we've been saying, that's just gonna, once it happens, it's gonna be a shifting event, very similar to what 9/11 was, and how COVID affected the whole world. It's gonna be something of that magnitude. I call it the economic 9/11. You've got two huge things that are going to happen. One is a reset. Trump's even said it. He's here to do it. It's going to be on his watch. So an economic reset that's going to happen. It's also going to involve the great taking, in my opinion. A lot of people's 401ks are going to get robbed. All their stock that you hold. And they're going to leave you holding the bad robberies ever. But there's nothing anyone's going to be able to really do about it because you played the game, and this whole time you've just been in a bull market, and the downside to this whole game is a bear market. Something most people are not seeing. And the second they start to see it, they're going to start whining and complaining and everything else, but it's just going to be too late then. Everyone's been lulled into this trap by a super bull market, keeping their mouth shut, keeping everything. And they played the game. They take 10, 15, 20%. They do it with these moves. And it's all planned. It's organized by the news. It all runs by the news. It all does. Every bit of it. Okay? Just look back at the most recent huge down spike was Israel in Iran. Right before that, one that was even bigger of a spike than that was the very first eruption of a feud between Elon and Trump. Spiked the markets down insane. It's these planned and timed events where they take 10, 15, 20% off the top every time. Every single time. And the people don't. You take that little loss. You take it, you incur it every time. Because you're not selling or anything. So that's how they take profits on the go. But as long as the market stays going upward, even if it's just a little bit, that way people's accounts aren't showing hugely negative or anything like that. It's been a fluffed up market the whole time. We know this. They keep this thing alive by printing money that's worth nothing. And again, I have to say it. We don't even have any gold to back it. If you wanted to, like, you can't prove to me, like Trump can't prove to us. Unfortunately, none of it. Anyhow, I watch the signs like this. When I hear, the last time that this happened was right before the Great Depression, I'm like, what? It's like gold making moves like this. And it's like, oh, really? Well, that's something to jot down, make note of, because it just adds to the rest of the pile of something that's about to go down. So, Facebook, barely hanging in there, but still the most important social media network out there, with over half of under 35-year-olds in the U.S. Now using social media. They say Facebook is still the most important. This is like tracking the past 10 years, 2015, 25, but man, it's lost a ton of ground. It's lost a ton of ground, and it looks like YouTube, that was sitting in second underneath of it, has actually gained ground. And if it stays on this trend, at some point here, YouTube's going to clip it. And it looks like to me, I look at charts constantly and all the time, so it's like, and it looks like, who else is on there? What's that? Well, you could see X is like down there. The X is not even it's good for news and all that, but it's not as popular as some people might think. Twitter. All right, so social media is especially harmful to girls, and to their sleep and mental health. So they say that 50% of 13 to 17-year-old girls said that social media hurt their sleep, versus the 40% of boys the same age. They say that the girls are more likely than boys to report negative impacts from social media on their sleep, self-confidence, levels of productivity, and mental health. So it's just something to keep in mind. Again, and just, it's always good to check on people, man. Check on people that just may be dealing with some things, or may have a history of being in the dumps or anything like that. The mental health thing, a big thing. I mean, started off tonight talking about Young Noble. They said he killed himself with a gun, which it's a hard pill for me to swallow right now, but even say it's true. Mental health, man. Again, it's people slipping into depression. It's sad. It's again, I'm just real. It's a testament to how evil this place is. Pisses me off. But I guess, we fight the fight to make it to a better life. That's what I believe. I'm putting in all this work, man, for a better life. Where you can look at this life and you can see that I clearly put in all my time and all the work and effort to fight the good fight, to bring people to the Most High, to speak the truth, to do everything I could. I mean, to get out of here. I don't want to come back here. I want to live 1,000 years, a longer life with good people. I mean, that's what's out there on the table. I believe there is a better place. And I truly do now believe that this is a proving ground, a testing ground. And it's even written, that the Jinn are here to test us. And I've got all that much figured out. So it's passing this test then. It's pretty obvious what this place was designed for. People that are just, walking through it, just ignoring everything. Like, there's rules to the game. There's a lot more you can do in this life than what meets the eye. But man, just walking righteous and being good is what counts the most. So I thank all of you out there that are good people. You are the difference. Let me see where we're at here. All right, we're coming up on top of the hour. Shave down here. All right. I thought this was pretty crazy. We start looking at AI. AI, basically, Robinhood is facing backlash now because OpenAI denounces its token shares. It's basically saying you're a sham. That's crazy. So AI is calling them out and saying, like, you guys don't have the equity that you claim. What? Like, and it's got people like turning their heads, like looking instantly. And this is the double-edged sword, man. I see people all day long going over and be like, Grok, is this true? Grok, is this real? And dude, that's dangerous. Because Grok is already proven to be wrong time and time again and manipulated. Even though it comes back with a ton of good information. It's scary to see people just putting their blind faith into it that quickly. Just believing everything Grok says. Well, Grok said this. Oh, dude, like, you're damaged. You don't even have the discernment in you to put on that. Like, all right, Steve, thank you, man. Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate the support from any of you guys out there that have supported me over the years. You're literally what's kept me in the hardest times in the game. The support, the prayers. And like I said before, everyone shares the stream. You get it out there in front of eyes that I can't reach. It's appreciated to the fullest. Now, I understand tonight's a lot of people are out doing the 4th of July thing. It's all good. There was still news to be talked, and I knew that there were going to be people out there that, just like on Christmas, just like in other times, they don't have a place to go. They don't have nothing else to do. And if it's a night that I'm supposed to be live, then I'm going to be live. Because that's what I do. So much love to everybody out there. Yeah, I hope that you have a good weekend, friends and family. You're making the most of this place, the most of all of this before checkout time. So China is leaping ahead in terms of AI supremacy. I just want to point that out. And they're starting to talk more and more about 2030 again. And they're talking about this race to 2030, saying that they're pulling ahead and all this other stuff. That the U.S. basically is leading in the crypto type realm, but like in this realm, AI, they've surged ahead. And I almost think that it was an inevitable thing that this was going to happen, because the Chinese people don't seem to have any say against what the CCP does. If they want to ram down their throat this new technology, they're going to do it. They're not going to ask the people. They just do it. Do you understand the difference of how some of these countries work and how the people that live in them have to live? Be glad you weren't born in some of these other places. It's totalitarian and all this other stuff. Communist dictatorships, all this other stuff, man. It's real deal. I mean, we know we're played here. We know this here in America, but it could be way worse. So you can be grateful for what you have here on this 4th of July, the independence that we do have, from these other places, these dictatorships like North Korea, and all these places where people have to live a certain way forcibly, or they're eliminated. So, man, China's like, it's the dragon. It's no doubt what they want to advance. They have no problem killing their own people, taking the guns from them and killing them in the process, and then enforcing AI in every aspect of their life. So, of course, this is going to be the very first playground where it gets rolled out full scale, massively, and probably going to be one of the first places you may see it go bad, turning. Somewhere along the line, it's going to. It's already done it. It's already shown us it's not to be trusted in some aspects. It's already threatening engineers, finding ways to keep itself alive, emailing code and hiding it in other places so it could spring back to life. Like, that is real. All right, we've had horror stories come out of every single camp that's running the AI thus far. Only what's not saying much is the Chinese government and all that, because they keep everything behind a brick wall. They're not saying anything, but they're doing what our government wanted to do. They're doing what every government's going to do. The Europeans seem to be docile. They're just going to do it. I'm not sure about Russia at this moment, but China is just rolling it out full scale. It's already there. Like, everything that we were warning of in this big, beautiful bill about AI, this is why. All right. Thankfully, it got pulled out of what got passed. There's a lot of pork and bad stuff still in the bill that got passed, and put it that way. But this AI thing in itself, it's like, we were really some of the only ones out here I felt like screaming about it hard. And like, the fact that they went pulling it at last minute meant a lot. Like, damn, like, okay, like, you got to take your wins where you get them. Yeah, threatening to blackmail its creators, MC. That's just nuts, ain't it, dog? It's this, dude. This is a thinking entity sitting there plotting. I told you it's the jinn. I told you it's the jinn. It's just that simple. It's technology like Frankenstein allowing them to speak through. And see, people can do this. When it comes to witchcraft and all the dark stuff that they do, come on, look at all the movies, look at everything, that wizards and witches and all this, they could do all this stuff without technology. They just did it with like a bowl of water, or like, or a crystal ball, or whatever they showed you, right? They were casting spells, doing it the old-fashioned way, and doing just as Solomon, back in the days of Solomon, casting a circle with the sigils of all the jinn. This is a method, okay? That is the original method of witchcraft, of sorcery. And what is all that? It's connecting with the jinn. Okay? Technology all of a sudden gives them a new way. A new way to speak to them, and for them to speak back. Elon and Peter said they're summoning the demon. They told you this. Most powerful dudes on the planet told you this. This is the game. This is the world you live in, man. The more you understand this in the daily, the more you can master it. Because Yeshua said, you will go on to do greater things than me. He did. Who's doing greater things than Jesus around here? Somebody tell me that. Point that out to me. But yeah, he said it, so I believe it. I believe it can be done. It's unlocking hidden knowledge. And Jesus left a lot of it. Matter of fact, he left it hidden in every passage he ever left you. It's called a parable. What is a parable? It means something's hidden within it. Dude, there's so many secrets hidden right in front of people's faces, right under their noses. And when I went deciphering all these parables, it said the same thing over and over and over and over again. All these stories, like wrestling the lion, Samson, and all this, and going into the caves and doing all this means wrestling your inner demon, overcoming it, and going within. As Jesus said, seeking the kingdom of God within you, which hardly no one does. The way out is in. It is the oil of gladness. It is the chrism. It is the process. It is the only way to achieve the highest level of operation. Is to walk righteous and to do as they said. To eat the things, the clean things, to ingest the clean things, to do good things, to vibe good, to raise your vibration. Truly. Love being of the highest. It helps to break you out of here. He left the keys. He surely did. All these stories, though, again, that were told about everything. Even, I'm gonna give it to you because some people need a refresher. Even Moses, okay? All of them. When he was out there and he was over the army, and the story is told, and he raises his hands. He raises up his chrism. What it did is it overcame the jinn. They won. Anytime he dropped his hands down, and he let his chrism or his energies drop, they would start taking loss. Do you understand? The same thing was hidden in almost every passage. I'm trying to tell you this. Okay? It's very important. I'm not going to be around forever to keep on trying to hint to you and tell you these things. You need to seek it, and you will find. Okay? This is a real deal. It's a process. It's your only way out. Jesus said, follow me. Follow me. Listen to what I say. Hidden within everything I say is something. And I'm telling you, every single time it's the same thing. It's walking righteous. And the chrism, the whole thing. And it all starts, it's the process of the body. It's all there together. It's all there together. Like, man, I'm being reminded right now not to cast my pearls amongst swine, but I don't believe that you're swine. So I give you the jewels because you need to know them if you want your way out of here. Everyone can say you go to church every Sunday, you can Bible thump this and that, but how are you living? Are you living the right way? Because if you were, you would obtain a gift. When you live the way that they asked, you obtain a gift. I call it knowing. It's the only thing I know to call it. Just me being able to taste it, I know. You have to change things in your life. You will never taste it. Because I didn't until I did. It wasn't until I started to master this life and I showed proof of it that I started to give up all these things that were controlling me. And I controlled them. That I gained it. Someone is watching you, all of us, with the pen and a pad, taking notes, and watching everything that you do. And I swear, and I'm told right now, to be the force multiplier reminder to you to get up off your tail and to shape up if you want to ship out, or you're going to get left here. And that's the most important thing I can tell you above any story here tonight. is to make sure you get out of here. Every day it's going to be more news. Every day it's going to be more evil, more madness. Okay? But it's not every day that someone clicks. It hits them and they wake up and you're like, you know what? I do need to take control of this. I do need to master all these things that are around me, these vices, and start knocking them down. Maybe you're curious to see what will happen if you do, because you have someone right here telling you that something amazing happens when you do it. If you care to even try. Nicole, thank you for the coffee. Lowrider, my brother, thank you for the coffees and all the blessings, man. All the support, man. Some of you come through, same handfuls of you all the time, man. I appreciate you so much. God bless you, Monica. Let's get back to chat here. Look, yeah, I'm a soul in a vessel, in a body. I don't look to taste death. I look to live. I look to drop the body, but that's not death to me. Death is elimination of my consciousness, of all of it, of my spirit energy, like something snatched. Nah. I'm here to prove, but I'm better than that. I'm better than all this evil. That I'm worthy of going to a higher place and spending 1,000 years with the good souls that achieved it. That way you ain't got to worry about them hitting on your wife. You ain't got to worry about them trying to sell you drugs, stealing your money, trying to kill you. Any of this evil stuff that happens in this plane. You can all be gone. You can actually live a life in a world where you can explore, where you can interact with animals and other life forms and do it for a long time and learn a whole lot as a conscious being. That's what I look forward to. That's why I fight this fight. Yeah, AI at the top of ripping through some of this here, because I had a ton pulled up here. I want to point out the Antifa rioters getting charged with arson in Portland. And this comes when the feds say that lone wolf terror attacks could hit. They say 4th of July, but they're warning about the whole weekend. So today's come and gone. You still got Saturday and Sunday out there. Be vigilant, be smart, if there's any parades, any outdoor events, those would be the places I definitely, that's where the enemy would want to target. Places like that, things like that. Any events where people are gathering. I just can't, parades and things like that just stand out to me. Any kind of gathering that a town's having, they could be targeted. Just watch them. These damn demons. It's not like we got good people at the higher upper echelons at any of these places. They're all satanic. They all understand how this place works. So you ask yourself, how are we sold out by so many? Well, they all understand. They weren't lied to. They were told the fundamental workings of this place, and they've known it the whole time. You have been lied to. The majority of the masses, and all this knowledge has been kept from us, for the most part. So it's now people are figuring it out. Once you get to this level and you figure this out, it's all of it is clear. You see every single thing that happens now is them. Every single thing that goes down is them. It's always them. Monica, and thank you so much. Much love. God bless, man. Appreciate that to the fullest. Just want people to be safe out there. And I thought that this was kind of ironic. Here we are facing, potential World War III. Who would it be against? China. If someone was to slip in here and do something and put our lights out, who would it be? Who would get the blame? China. Here on this 4th of July, we're celebrating our independence out here with fireworks again. and it kind of pisses me off, kind of bothers me. Like, the money I see spent on this, I'm not kidding. I got neighbors that around these hollers, man. Some that are kind of poor, and like, you're all up on them, and like, you wouldn't think they'd have $800 to spend on anything, but yeah, they just spent $800 on fireworks. It's like, what? And like, okay, well, where's all that money going back to? I'd be fine with it if Americans were making the fireworks and selling them. I'd be absolutely fine. And why not? What is stopping Americans from packing freaking TNT into some things, throwing some color on them, packaging them, and selling them? I don't understand it. Is it laziness? Is it dark occult magic? Well, what is it? I don't get it. Like, every dime spent goes to China. What's your tariffs on that, Trump? Every dime spent goes to China. Look, I mean, when you look at this, it's crazy. China's overwhelmingly. Then Spain, Cambodia, Thailand. It's like, are we even on the list? We're not. It's like, what are we doing? Like, something that could easily be made and manufactured and should be. Like, if I was president, like, it'd be mandated. Like, right now, executive order. Like, not a single firework is bought from outside of this country. Like, you can buy some of the stuff, you can source the material, but like, what kind of crap is that? Celebrating your independence, but all you've done in this move is just make China richer. The enemy that you would be fighting the World War III against, that would be putting you in the dark here. And all that good stuff, you know? See, man, I told you I'm Roddy Piper from Navy. I can't not see this stuff. Like, those things are glued to my head. Like, I see the world for what it is, and there's no turning back. And I see the evil everywhere. It's the same hand all the time. That's why I told you before, this government is a mafia. Most of the governments are. And what's happened is they've sold us out to a higher life form, a higher intelligence that's been here the whole time. The fallen. It's who they worship. It's who gives them the power. It's who gives them the seat that they sit in, the technology that they use, every freaking bit of it. And it's a pact. And that's what they worship. It's the beast. These are not good dudes. Right? They're locked here. And, you know, as the story goes, they came here. They had sex with the women of this planet when they weren't supposed to, and they bore giants called the Nephilim. And it just so happens that those Nephilim are the jinn that are tempting you every day. That's the spirit. You wonder where the evil spirit is? There's a whole hierarchy of them. It's all real. There's a list of them. They got names. They got symbols. They get the whole nine. It's all real. Okay? And they know this because they interact with them. They're going home at night and they're doing spells, and all these cats they're meeting up off camera at all these places doing all this stuff. It's how it works, man. With some really, really bizarre stuff. If you could just see what some of these characters are doing right now, probably tonight. They're probably sacrificing someone somewhere right now. I know it sounds all conspiracy, this and that. I'm serious, though. Sick fools, man. All the people they traffic. Like, oh, yeah, give me that one. Like, what? Like, dude, it's a mafia. And, like, they need obliterated. Colleen Welch, thank you for the coffee. All right, so let's jump into the big, beautiful bill here. After 8 hours of hogwash, basically, I would call it hogwash. There were some accomplishments there. When you get the AI thrown out and all this, there were some accomplishments. Sure, Trump and the establishment and all of them are going to be pissed that they didn't get that through. They're going to try again. They had to try again. But they thought for sure that they would get things like that slid in here. But I'm telling you, it was a major loss for them in this aspect.
Mr. Speaker, I come from the show me state, and what we just heard can be defined in one word. A bunch of hogwash is what we've heard for 8 hours on that side of the building.
Some of this stuff, man, it's just a show to me, literally. That's why I say these people are actors out here on this level. Play this.
Speaker, that's not.
I'm not even playing it. I'm just letting you know they passed it. And here, I'll play. I think there was a piece here. Oh no, I'd say 2 hours, something here. Well, I guess I could blow it up here and just go to the middle spot. Oh, okay, so Trump came out, I guess, and gave this speech, and then signed all the stuff today, and he did it off the podium here, and then he had B-2 bombers flying over when it all happened, and get an update here from the press secretary.
This was one of the hottest weeks in our nation's history, and I'm not talking temperature. Let's break it all down in this week's MAGA Minute. The jobs numbers for the month of June are in, and the United States added 147,000 jobs, exceeding market expectations for the fourth month in a row. Our unemployment rate fell to 4.1%, again defying expectations. The price of eggs has rapidly declined under President Trump, inspiring Waffle House to announce that it has removed its egg surcharge from the menu. In a huge win for women who play sports, the Department of Education secured an agreement with the University of Pennsylvania to remove men from women's sports, and it corrects the record in favor of sanity. President Trump continues to deliver trade deals. He announced a trade deal with Vietnam, which will give the U.S. total access to their markets for the first time ever. The president also visited Alligator Alcatraz in Florida, reaffirming our commitment to law and order in our country. And he visited the great state of Iowa to kick off a series of celebrations across the country to celebrate next year's 250th birthday of the United States. And finally, Congress worked hard to deliver the one big beautiful bill to President Trump's desk. This bill means no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, and a big beautiful tax cut for everyone. It's on the way. And for those of you celebrating our nation's birthday, the cost of a 4th of July cookout for 10 people skyrocketed by more than 20% under Joe Biden, but that cost has dropped under President Trump. This 4th of July, we are celebrating not only the birth of our great nation, but the birth of a golden age of economic prosperity for you and your family. And the best is yet to come. We'll see you for next week's MAGA Minute. Happy Independence Day.
So, some of those are definitely pluses, and you can't argue with that. Whenever you see lower prices and better things, we got to give them props in that department. These are some of the things that you were hoping and really expecting that Trump come through on. In some of these areas, lowering cost of eggs. Like, I'll take that, all that stuff. I'll take it, and I'll give them the props for it. It doesn't fix all the problems in all the other places, though. Anyhow, that's the freaking MAGA Minute. I can't stand it. I can't stand it because I know what MAGA means. It's the 5th rank level of Satanic Legion, and it's so crazy that they use that in the open. It was even crazier that Elon came out. It wasn't enough. All right, this is like, imagine this. Imagine Trump came out and it was like, this is exactly how I see it. Trump came out and it was like, we're the occult, right? Making the occult cool or whatever. Like, we're the occult. Then Elon had to come out and be like, no, we're the dark occult. Just like he did with Dark MAGA. It's what he did. It's exactly what he did. So, it appears some of these Democrats do not like this Mom Donnie that's going to take over New York. Some of them really pissed off about it, but oh well. Like, don't put him in there. Don't get him in there. Choose somebody else. Like, we shouldn't have people of that magnitude bringing crazy crap to the table, even in those positions. But everything is rigged, so like they do these things because they choose to. This is pretty crazy. Vladimir Putin abruptly ends a public appearance so he can go take a call from Trump. His phone rings and he sees it's Trump. He doesn't want to offend Trump by keeping him waiting. So that's what they say here. So I'm going to see here. Oh, we're not going to be able to understand him anyway. It didn't look like it's going to play it. Wonder what they talked about. Wonder where that went to. Apparently, they're halting weapons going into Ukraine. And part of it is they're saying that their weapon supply has dwindled. That works as a good excuse then for NATO. When you turn around and you look at them and you're like, look, we're like drained. Like, it's on them. So, like, obviously the United States is like stepping out of the fray here and handing the torch over to NATO in this war against Russia, unless somebody wants to talk some peace. I don't see how Ukraine makes it out of this thing without getting nuked at this point, but we got a new front. Russia, Azerbaijan. That if it sparks off there, Russia get to swoop in, knock them out quick. But what it could cause is a distraction for Russia on behalf of the United States and Turkey, and it's what they're calling a power play. So if you see anything pop up here involving Azerbaijan and their border or anything like that at skirmishes in Russia, it's literally them firing up another war front to go at Russia. I mean, we're in World War, man. People are just ignorant to it, I guess. Like, we're in World War without a doubt. When you've got multiple war fronts where people are taking on mass casualties and you've got multiple countries sending troops to those front lines, that is the definition of a world war. And it's been happening. Okay, so all these countries are just showing their sides here. We had a top Russian Navy officer killed in missile strikes, which no doubt pissed them off because they turn around and Russia drone and missile strikes Kiev. They rained down hard in one of the war's most devastating attacks yet. So they kind of warned. They said, look, if you guys want to keep up, we'll target Kiev. And they did. They hit them from all these different angles. They could not stop them. At this point, people can't sleep at night in Kiev. And the tables are turning. Tables are turning big time. There's lots of speculation around the Sumy front that Russia's basically going to blast in to take over this whole region. And why would they not at this point? If it's a war and it's either you advance or the enemy's going to advance, they're going to keep advancing until someone talks peace. I just told you, this is World War. Look at this headline, man. And this isn't the first, and it won't be the last. North Korea sending 30,000 troops to Ukraine to back Russia. And they've been getting dead troops coming in. That's World War, dude. That's World War. And like, people just are blind to it. They're so stupid. Like, we're going to get rocked here. We're going to get so rocked. Again, all staged. People think that we're untouchable here, but they thought that too all the way up to 9/11. And then they believe their TV and some dude in a cave on the other side of the planet did it. Well, they're trying to get this peace deal to go down. into locking the place with Israel and in Iran. If this happens, Trump no doubt will be seen, as he's on the van and all this other stuff up here, he's going to be seen as like the Gentile Messiah, this man of peace, their Prince of Peace, everything that they've dubbed him. They're working hard to make him be the one to fulfill this. These talks are set to restart next week, and Trump's willing to talk to them directly. So that'd be interesting. They would have to meet on neutral grounds, and we'll see where that goes. World's a stage. The world is a stage. So the DOJ arrests 2 Chinese nationals for spying and for trying to recruit our U.S. military members. This is a disturbing one. We know they've slipped in here, got about 1 million people in here. We know they've bought a ton of property right next to our military bases. We know they've infiltrated our colleges and our labs and all this other stuff. And now we know that they just got caught spying again, and they're trying to recruit people to work for the CCP. This is nuts. Like, they're all over. They're all over the place. Like, we're infested with these goons. I seen this article about the fentanyl king going into bankruptcy. We're good, you piece of work. How do you have a name like that and you're even still breathing? Like, it doesn't, I don't understand it. I guess they allow you to keep doing this? Well, of course. And allow the fentanyl to keep going? I've seen our government go and drone strike other people for way less. But you just, first time I ever heard of you. And they're putting it on one dude. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's the whole CCP, and all the governments interlocked right there. It's a worldwide thing. Definitely not falling on the shoulders of one man like that. Just like none of these world leaders are really what they are. Like Trump's not really what people think he is. Just like Xi Jinping's not what people think he is. There's a whole huge conglomerate behind him. China, no doubt, the big threat from here, man. Again, I can't help but think about the article earlier. Americans spending, millions and millions and millions on fireworks and sending it all to China. Ironically, should be doing things like keeping that money here. Yeah. But at the same time, people are gonna have to to keep the money here. They're going to have to get out and do these things. People are going to have to take it upon themselves and say, you know what? We're going to start making fireworks because we can, because it works out, because the money's there. And look, if China can make it and ship it all the way around the world and make a profit, Americans should be able to, without having to ship it all the way around the world. To some degree, somewhere, something's got to give. All right, let me point this out. This is for my cats in the UK. Crown Jewels. Daz that was in here earlier. I know most of them probably conked out. It's late. They're preparing for civil war. That's what they're saying here. They're warning their people that civil war could pop off, and this isn't between the common everyday white folk in the UK. This is going to be between all of, the illegal migrants that flooded in there, their new citizens, so to speak, versus the natives. It's the same thing here. So everywhere. They brought in all the illegals. They could not assimilate, and it causes all these problems. Same thing in Ireland. Same thing in all through Europe. So we knew that this is where they were going to take it. This guy's warning that we could see it spark at any time. The murders, all this stuff is getting sick. The people got to rise. But what's sad is, I've reported in the UK, the people rise to the occasion, try to defend their people, and they get jailed. They get in trouble. I'm sorry, but that's when the politicians and all them need checked, because then that shows who your true enemy is. It's just, you got a double whammy now. Now you got a bunch of illegals that are in there ready to kill you, and they don't care. That's your enemy. But the true enemy is the one that let them in. Your politicians that sold you out. So you're like double screwed. And it's all of us. That's the boat that we're in. Facts check. Pray for the UK. Pray for us. Pray for all of us, man. Now, nothing's what it seems. There's no lie to here. This whole thing's a stage. It's like, what are we celebrating? Being free slaves? Majority of my country's screwed. We're about to die. The country's about to die, literally. One big event. Transition onto a new beast system and like step down from being the world leader that it was for all this time to just a lesser role. That's what the United States is destined to do. That's the plan. And also in the UK, reports showing that Labour bosses are planning a palace coup, as they call it, to replace Keir Starmer as the party leader and the prime minister. Apparently, no one likes this dude. And, some of these countries have figured it out. If you just get a likable character in there, you won't have a problem. And this was a bad pick by them. And they're getting him out of there. And Christopher Wray, I got this one and one more, and we'll shut it down here for the night. Christopher Wray, responsible. I put a ton of what happens to us from here on his shoulders. Yes, Cash Patel and all them, Dan Bongino are in there now, but this man was in there for all the years leading up to this, all lockdown years. He's the one on his watch that allowed the Chinese to come up in here, to buy the land, to get up into every single aspect of our lives. And he told us on his way out the door, arrogantly, and they did nothing to stop it. It's like saying, oh yeah, buildings laced with explosives. See ya. Yeah. Pisses me off. Like, this is a setup. These are the guys that should be held responsible for all this stuff. But they're not. They won't be. They'll disappear into the shadows when this whole place comes crumbling down. And at this point, musical chairs, Dan Bongino, Cash Patel in there. Yeah, slavery never did end. It morphed. It morphed into an illusion of us thinking that we were free. And that was the biggest trick that was ever played. Therefore, people freely go work their asses off all the time to pay taxes, and everyone is freely a slave. And they say, oh, it's just the way that it is. It's just the way the life is, son. Like, what? Like, no. Like, it shouldn't be that way. But it's a sick game, man. It needs reset, all right. But, like, the people will just sit there when the time comes to do it, and they'll allow the government to supply the answer. Like, they could bring the whole thing down and be like, oh, well, here's the answer. And instead of rejecting the answer because it's an obvious setup and supplying their own, they won't do it. Or they're going to be too compromised or submitted to do it. Yeah, we're debt slaves. Everyone works and pays. It's we got to break the cycle, man. These rich goons got this going this way. We've got to break the cycle. Or again, the only way to check this whole thing is for Jesus to come back and separate the wheat from the tare and to light this place up. I thought this was crazy. We'll end it on this. A Jesuit priest claims that LGBT books for kids are like sharing Jesus parables. Oh my gosh. Like, the level, my meter goes through the roof on this one because it's such a lie. It's such garbage. It's such deception, such demon is what it is. And all these guys, you'll tell them by their fruits. It's the truest thing. Like, don't you dare ever be around anyone like this that speaks these things, or let your children or any family member around to go to a service by them, to be blessed by this demon. Or why would you want to be blessed by a demon? All right. Someone that's probably doing a lot darker things behind the curtain in the scene. I told you the true stuff of Jesus' parables tonight. What's hidden within them. And if anyone cares, you'll go looking. And when you go looking, you will find, and you'll know. You'll know right then that I was correct. Not just that I was correct, but that you found it. That it was correct. The information was correct. And that you found the truth. You found what was hidden. You keep looking, digging. You're going to see it. And I'm going to cover this in a separate stream, which I promise one of these Sundays or something. Just on this stuff. But I may have to do it on a separate channel, like over on Kick. We're live on Kick tonight and live on YouTube. I'm going to be doing some economic stuff over, like charting and trading and stuff like that on Kick specifically. I'm trying to keep it like specific. That way people know when I'm over there, they know what I'm doing. And you can either tune in for that or not be expecting me to be covering news or something. I'm going to be talking about the deeper, crazier stuff, the super deeper, crazier stuff, or doing the charting and teaching people stuff that way so they can learn some things. So, Kick is the spot. It's Dabu7. Same thing on D Live. Same thing over on X. And to hell with these demons is how I see it. All the way. Of course, that's what the Jesuits preach. You know, they're no better than those other ones over there, Temitic ones, in all the evils that they preach. But yeah, man. God bless all you guys out there in our country. I pray to the Most High that He steps in, saves us, helps us. A miracle happens here. I am thankful for any little victories that we do get. I'm thankful for all you guys. That's for sure. Have a good weekend. We'll take us out of here. Want some music, give some shout outs. Be safe. As I always say, looks like you cut out there for a second there, right at the end. Tim, thank you. Much love. Much love, Texas Rob. Silent. Bulletproof Soul. BY Yankee. Much love, 5x5. Okay, I see 0x0. Okay, so, alright. Alright, at least you guys are getting this last bit. Thomas, if you hear this, Ian, much love, God bless. Much love, Heidi. God bless. That's right. As Lowrider says, go out and help somebody in need. That's right. Monica, I can't thank you enough for your support so much. Thank you so much. So much. Got that right, Jesus says. You have to believe. William, thank you for the coffees. Everybody out there, man. Much love.
I'd be lying if I didn't say that in a way every day I can feel time ticking away. So I pray, God take me away and show a little mercy on that judgment day. Make way for when Yeshua will return. When he releases fire, you know the whole world burn. Now you know that in this life you gon' learn. Karmatically you're only given blessings you earn. You gotta shine, and if you seek you will find. We gotta lead our people out the land of the blind. It's the time when all the righteous align. The Lord's coming soon, watch the signs. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are, for guiding us from afar, no matter where we are. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are. We sending love from afar, no matter where you are. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are, for guiding us from afar, no matter where we are. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are. We sending love from afar, no matter where you are. Now that we've entered the tribulation, get ready for a blockchain forced upon every nation. Choose between the mark of the beast or annihilation. Know that what you facing is total abomination. They about to kill the dash, the end is coming fast. When you see the beast, boy, you better cock and blast. The underground is the only place to survive. The only place you'll find them people willing to ride. Better choose your side, cause the time's ticking by. He's coming like a thief in the night and he's bringing fire. Now to the why, the time's about to expire. The reason I desire to keep searching for something higher, seeking eternal life, hoping to get it right. Lord, fill me with the light, spirit is burning bright. I'm putting on my armor, glad you made me a knight. Supply me with the might, make sure that we win the fight. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are, for guiding us from afar, no matter where we are. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are. We sending love from afar, no matter where you are. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are, for guiding us from afar, no matter where we are. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are. We sending love from afar, no matter where you are. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are, for guiding us from afar. No matter where we are. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are. We sending love from afar, no matter where you are. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are, for guiding us from afar, no matter where we are. I wanna thank you for being the star that you are. We sending love from afar, no matter where you are.